Hello and welcome everybody to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News. I'm your host, Zafiro Fierro. Remember to follow us on all of our social networks and to catch us every day by logging onto our website, MexicoNewsNetwork.com, for relevant stories and news. Let's begin with today's show. The agave is a plant that has many varieties and functionalities, from the elaboration of mezcal and tequila to the use of Henequen, a species of cactus derived from this plant that has different uses. Henequen is also known as green gold in Yucatan because of the great economic flow that generated during its heyday in the 19th century. It was used by the Mayan communities and continues to be used by people to make lanyards, bags, ropes, carpets, among many other fibers. Also known as sisal fiber, this material turned the Yucatan Peninsula into one of the richest and most sought-after states of Mexico, because even after the conquest, its export continued, and over time, production grew to become an important agricultural industry, and its products began to sell even in the United States and the European markets. In Yucatan, there are several estates that have devoted large tracts of land for the production of this plant. However, the value of Henequen declined during the First World War and never returned to regain the popularity it's previously enjoyed. Today, its production is considered a tourist attraction given the rich tradition it involves. In other headlines, raspberry, blueberry, cherry, currant, blackberry, and strawberry are part of the group called berries, and they are the fifth most imported agricultural product from Mexico. Currently, the production of these fruits in Mexico exceeds 24,000 hectares, and the country is the leading producer of blackberry with a 30% of the global market share, with an estimated production of 549,000 tons per year, followed by the United States and China. Jalisco is among the major producers in the country, taking national leadership in plantations of cranberry and raspberry, while it is the second largest producer of blackberry and the fourth in strawberry. During 2015, there were 46,000 tons of berries, and 90% of the berries produced in the state reached the U.S. markets, Canada, Europe, and Asia due to its excellent quality. Production of berries in the country generates between 80,000 and 100,000 jobs per year, which is why Zagarpa is currently working with producers in order to create more and better schemes to boost the exports. Moving on, Monterrey has not necessarily been the biggest or most visited touristic destination, but it has been considered the smartest by Forbes, and I'll explain why. What is a smart city anyway? Some of us may understand it first as a green flag waving metropolis that cares about the environment, playing its part just as an eco-friendly federal entity. But actually, the definition is broadened by Forbes itself, determining that not only should we focus on nature-loving approach to preserve the earth, but also on economic fundamentals that looks past the infrastructure and livability standards. But where does Monterrey fall on this definition? The long-standing business-friendly Mexican city has risen up from relative obscurity to prove its industrial power over the rest of Mexico, with over 57 industrial parks specializing in everything from chemicals to cement to telecommunications and industrial machinery. Powerful families have been long running the city with a keen business ability, so it keeps everything very friendly for entrepreneurs. Another very important contributing factor is the city's growing rate. It's a lot faster than the rest of Mexico. Everyone loves Mexican food. The seasoning, the flavors of Mexico are unsurpassed. It is so loved by all that recently the National Restaurant Association of the United States reported that Americans spend about $40 billion a year in Mexican food, which makes it the third most common menu in the country. Mexican food now accounts for almost 8% of all restaurants operating in the United States, with more than 57,000 establishments. Besides that, according to various surveys, it is the second most preferred foreign food for U.S. citizens. behind Italian and ahead of Chinese, Mediterranean, and Japanese foods. In the United States, the Mexican restaurant industry is dominated by independent restaurateurs, but 26% of the total fall into the category of chain or franchise with 10 or more stores in operation of each. Currently, the largest percentage of Mexican restaurants is located in the southwest of the country, where a Hispanic population is dominant. The state of California, Texas have the largest number of Mexican food establishments. Florida is third, followed by New York and Illinois. However, you must remember that to prove the authentic flavors of the Mexican food, there is no better place to do so than in its home country. So during your next vacation, we recommend you visit Mexico, which apart from its delicious cuisine, has so much more to offer: culture, art, and history. Lastly, the Mexican peso decreased 0.0157 or 0.09% to 17.96 on Wednesday, May 11th from 17.98 in the previous trading session. The peso gained 2.648 or 17.29% during the last 12 months from 17.32 in May of 2015. Mexico IPC index decreased 103 points or 0.23% to 45,573 on Wednesday, May 11th from 45,676 in the previous trading session. Mexico IPC index gained 622.5 points or 1.38% during the last 12 months from 44,950.49 points in May of 2015. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm your host, Zafiro Fierro, and remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.